Well, the trail 4849. I gotta say, that was very unacceptable for what you did. The 12-inch desk fan from Intertec was from January of 2015. And that was very unacceptable for what you did. You smashed it. Before that, you said, "Take this." And then you said profanity on me. That was very unacceptable. Telling you, that was very unacceptable for what you did.
0 people.
Look, it needed what it needed was to check for any debris on the fan blades that makes it not to spin. And look at the label right there. It was made in China on that video. As you mentioned.
0 people.
Look right there. It was made in China. And that was totally unacceptable for what you did. Like I mentioned, you smashed it and scrapped a modern piece of beauty.
0 people.
12-inch desk fan, what you call a piece of profanity on me. That was very unacceptable for calling me a profanity. Very unacceptable. Very unacceptable.
0 people.
Sorry for the talking on my iPad. It's saying 0 people many times. Anyways, I know you're gonna be asking if you're gonna replace it with a vintage piece of electricity waster. Look, all it needed was to check for debris on the fan that makes it not to spin, and then
0
check
people.
the motor and the capacitor, not scrap it. Again, all he needed was to check for debris that makes the blades not to spin, and then take it apart and check the motor or capacitor that makes it not to spin. And replace as needed,
0
not
people.
to scrap it. Or replace the capacitor or the motor that makes it not to spin as needed or necessary. If you're in doubt, call an electrician. Like I said, if you're in doubt, call an electrician. Oh, and something else too. Look.
0 people.
I'm just messing with this god dang thing. Anyways. Dang. I saw your video also with Dylan the Vintage and Antique Collector is a Liar. Part 2. Lots and lots of profanities going on in that video. I don't like
0
that,
people.
first of all. If you're gonna use that in one of those videos, just censor it. Just use some bleeps to take it off. Not keep it as the way it was. Like I said, totally unacceptable for what you did. Let's hope you make a response video.
0 people.
But that vintage, and yes, if I mentioned this, I think that modern is better than vintage. Because you know what? Vintage is a piece of electricity waster, it's noisy, and it's a piece of junk. One time
0 people.
that, for example, that vintage coffee maker was leaking badly, we had to replace it with a modern coffee maker. One time that vintage Ream Classic central air conditioner was going out and it had to be replaced with a modern. And look, that modern Rude air conditioner is doing good, has no problems.
0 people.
And look, that box fan was in good condition. You didn't need to smash it or scrap it. And look, all it needed was a motor replacement and, if necessary, a capacitor replacement. Not to mess with vintage
0 people.
box fan. Not to shop for vintage box fan. You need to shop for modern box fans, not vintage. Because look, vintage is noisy, piece of electricity waster, and a piece of junk. That's what I don't like about vintage. That's why I like modern. Hopefully you make a
0
response
people.
video.